My name is Chris Golde, and I work at Stanford Career Education. Today, I'm going to talk to you about using the STARS method to tell a story in an interview. Oftentimes in interviews, you'll be asked to give an example of a time you did something. Stories are a great way to illustrate what you've done in the past as a way to help the interviewer understand how you will act in the future. At Career Ed, we use the acronym STARS to help you remember the 5 components of a compelling story. This step-by-step framework helps keep your story organized to make it a convincing example in an interview. You can tell a story in response to a direct behavioral question, such as, "Tell me about a time when." You can use an example to illustrate your answer to a question like, "What's your style of communication?" You can also use an occurrence from the past to reply to a hypothetical question about how you would approach a problem. You may see the acronym STAR on the internet. We add that second S, as I will explain. The first S is for situation. You start by describing the context. What are the relevant aspects of the situation? The T is for task. This is the problem that befalls our hero, or the challenge you have to deal with. The first 2 will be pretty brief. Just give enough detail that the listener can understand what you were contending with. A is for action. Next, you tell us what you did. This is where you will go into more detail. R equals results. What happened as a result of your action? How did you know it was successful? Again, some detail might be helpful to the listener. Finally, that last S is for so what. Here you draw the conclusion of the story. Why did you just tell it? What lesson did you learn? What do you want the person to know about you and how you will react in the future? Don't leave it to the listener to draw the conclusion. Just like a scientific paper, end with the analysis. Remember, keep the emphasis on the ARS. We illustrate with a fictional example. In this case, I prepared an answer to the prompt, "Tell me about an accomplishment you're proud of." As preparation, you can write bullet points, and then you can elaborate when you speak it. In this example, the bullet points are the text on the slide, and they guide me as I speak a longer version. We encourage you to work from bullets rather than a complete script so you don't sound overly rehearsed. To help you calibrate, this story takes a little bit less than 2 minutes to tell. I've always been an avid cyclist. I've made great friends in the Stanford Cycling Club, and that's become an important community to me. During my junior year, I offered to organize the biking club's annual community outreach event, a 25K family bike ride along the bay. We've done this for over 20 years, and lots of families participate every year. The year that I ran it, I was thinking a lot about how we could make the event more inclusive. In the past, the participants seemed to be largely affluent families living near Stanford. I wanted to reach out to communities we didn't usually touch, especially in East Palo Alto and Redwood City. I worked with the Haas Center for Public Service to reach out to local middle schools and create flyers advertising the event. I ended up going to the schools and talking to middle school teachers. They were the ones in touch with the kids most likely to participate. Talking to people I didn't know was definitely out of my comfort zone, but I got a good reaction. At the suggestion of one of the teachers, we translated our flyers into Spanish. We had a website with info and made it easy to register and make sure it was clear the event was free. Several of the teachers agreed to come with their families and join along. I am really proud that we doubled the number of participants from 75 to 150. I got some great feedback from the teachers who reported that they saw their students at the event. It was so fun to see the families biking together. What I learned is that it's important to try new things, especially when they're aligned with my values. I had to stretch myself to access resources and ask for help. As you prepare for your interviews, think about several stories that illustrate some of your best attributes and will help you answer common interview questions. Keep in mind, the same story might be useful to illustrate your answer to several different questions. We suggest that you practice telling your stories to someone else until you get it right. Enough context so that we understand the challenge, sufficient detail that we understand your skills, an emphasis on that ARS, and a clear conclusion so that we know what you learned and how this incident made you a better employee in the future. Sketch out your bullets and then practice enough so you can tell each story without notes. Your goal is to own the information, not be word perfect. There are more interview resources, including a list of common questions on our website. We wish you all the best.